All right, so an easy way to remember is the legs are connected to the right angle. And let me take a second and pause this. I don't know why that is going. Okay. And the hypotenuse is always opposite the right angle. The hypotenuse is also the longest side of the triangle. Okay? Now that we've proved it, we can use it. And we need to make sure we can use it. So, the first thing that we want to do is we want to be able to figure out which one is the hypotenuse, because the legs don't really matter, but figuring out which one's the longest side, which ones are C, that's going to be key. So the easiest way that I tell students is if you find the right angle and you draw an arrow diagonal from it, you will always find the hypotenuse. So if I start at the right angle, I draw a thing, 11 is a hypotenuse. I start at the right angle, I draw a diagonal line, I end up at the hypotenuse of 2x. Okay? So here, I start at the right angle, I go diagonal, my hypotenuse is 13. I start at the right angle, I draw my arrow diagonal, I end up at 21. Okay? Miss Davy, pause the video. I want you to try and do the next ones on your own. Miss Davy, again, pause the video. Welcome back. Now, we are going to actually solve the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so before it was just, can we prove it? Do we know what C is, what the longest side is? Okay, so let's start out by saying that this is always A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So again, these don't really matter. So across from the right angle is right here, and that is our question mark. So A, I'm going to put in 12 squared. B, I'm going to put in 12 squared. And C is just going to remain C. What is 12 squared? 144 plus 144. That's going to equal C squared. What is 144 plus 144? What is 144 plus 144? 288. Move this up some. And that equals C squared. Does anybody remember how to undo a square? I heard some good answers. So we take what's called the square root. So to take the square root, there is actually a button on your calculator, but depending on which one you have depends on how I want you to do it. So the button looks like this. Some of them you have to put in the number first, then push the button. Some of them you have to put in the button first and then solve it. Okay, so it just all depends. I told you round to the nearest hundredth if necessary. So you got 16.970. Okay, 0 gets cut off. The 7 stays the same since this is below 4. So your answer is that, and it would be feet. Okay, so we're going to try another one. We have A squared plus B squared equals c squared. My a or my b, it doesn't matter, is 5. My b or my a, doesn't matter, is 14. And I keep my c squared. What is 5 squared? 25. What is 14 squared? 196. And that equals c squared. Then add those together. What do you get? 221 equals c squared. How did we undo this last time? Good. Take the square root. And what's the square root of 221? 14.8. And this says 6. So I look at this 6 and that helps me to round that one. Would the 6 round up or stay the same? Round up. Good. So this is the final answer of 6.87. Okay. Next few. I have a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So 5 squared plus 13 squared equals c squared. And that's my fault. I have not been helping you guys. So the L shape right here, even though it doesn't tell you, that is your right angle. Across from that would be your C. Across from that would be your C. So what is 5 squared? 25. What is 13 squared? 169. That equals C squared. What is 169 plus 25? 194. And how do you get C to be alone? Take the square root. And you end up with 928. Does the 8 round the 2 up or stay the same? Round the 2 up. So your final answer is 13.93. Okay? This next one looks a little crazy, right? Where would that right angle be? Good, touching the 2 and the 4. So diagonal that would be your C. So I have 2 squared plus 4 squared equals C squared. Well, 2 squared is 4. 4 squared is 16. That equals C squared. What's 4 plus 16? 20. How do I undo that C? Take the square root. 4.472. Does the 2 make the 7 round up, or does the 2 keep the 7 the same? Keep the 7 the same. Good. And this would be CN. Okay, last 2 we're going to do together. Good, this one has a right angle on it. And it is over there. So I have 8 squared plus 6 squared equals C squared. What is 8 squared? 64. What is 6 squared? 36. What is C squared? C squared. What is 64 plus 36? 100. How do I undo that squaring? Take the square root. So C equals 10. Very last one that we're going to do together. Diagonal from that. So I have 35 squared